Hey all. Today, I know I've put out a lot of videos today, and they've been about different subjects and all, but, my weight loss and being a little funny about it with Big Mouth and being even more goofy with my dog. But there's an underlying thought that I've got. It bothers me. I go through every day doing the same thing. I get up, of course, take care of my toiletry, then read the Word, take my thyroid med, and then focus on what I may be eating later, try to get some steps in, do some strength training. It just basically the same thing every single day. And sometimes going through the same thing, I find myself just numbly going through the day. Now, I'm one of these kind of people that I really enjoy doing adventurous things. I like getting out there and doing something exciting, something new, something different. What really makes it hard is, even though I've been reading my Word every day, I've been feeling somewhat, I wouldn't say distant from God, but kind of like currently I can't reach Him. And it's not because He's not there. The fact of the matter is, sometimes we get caught up so much in our own daily lives, whether it's something new or it's something old. We get so caught up in our own personal life that we fail to make contact with God. And then we feel like there's a distance between us. And He said that He'll never leave you nor forsake you. We sometimes have a tendency to forsake God. And that somewhat puts a hindrance in the day. Especially if you are a Christian, if you're a believer. Because He is our life. He's the breath we breathe. And what's even more sad, when we fail to really make contact with God for our day, it also can cause us to have doubts about things, or possibly even cause us to make ill choices, or put us in a foul mood. It's not good to be distant from God, to fail to communicate with Him for the day. And there's no limit to communicating with Him. There's no limit. Throughout the day, it is so vital to talk with Him. Maybe share how you're feeling, or to lift up your nation, which that is something in itself. But we're not talking about a regular prayer life where you pray for certain matters. I'm talking about an outright conversation with Father, where like He's right beside you and you're just wanting to share your feelings or what may, just making complete contact with Him. And He's been with me. He has been. But I've been so caught up with trying to lose weight, focusing on that, and working toward building up my channels, and just doing the same thing day in and day out. And I'm longing to do something so much more. Something more worthwhile, make me feel like I'm living, you know. But making contact with God all day long makes it more bearable in situations that can't be changed. Because in reality, if we stay focused in the Lord, then everything else just is there in the distance, like, you know. Sometimes when we feel like we can't reach God, we need to take time out alone, where there's no interference, where there's nothing to distract us. And we need to just cry out until we make that contact. Because without Him, we don't have a real life. We go through the daily motion. Just the daily motion. And I am speaking to myself. I need to make contact with Him all day long. And stay in contact with Him. That way I can get through these days that don't seem to change. I can get through these days. I can move toward a new hour, a new day, a new week, new month, new year. But I need to stay focused on Him. I need to keep contact with Him. When I start feeling it mentally, I need to make contact with Him. When I start feeling it physically, I need to make contact with Him. When I even feel it spiritually, I need to make contact with Him. And that's what's really been deep on me today. I felt it this morning, wondering why that I hadn't been feeling His presence, been sensing Him nearby. And it's because I have been forsaking Him, not because He has been forsaking me. So when you're feeling down, or lost, or bored, or like you're missing something, reflect on whether or not you've really made contact with God for the day, throughout the day. about any matter, anything. And this is the greatest thing of all. He cares about every single little thing in our life. Every single little thing matters to him because it matters to us. So whatever it may be that might be troubling you and you haven't made contact with him about it, have a personal conversation with him. Not just a regular prayer life, but a conversation with him. He's an awesome listener. And he's right by your side. He's looking right at you. He's not one of those people that looks around pretending to listen and not hearing a word you say. He's looking right at you, and he's listening. And he hears you, not only your words, but he hears your heart too. We need to keep contact with our Lord. Because he's there for us. And he cares.